We now welcome the number 9 ranked UFC women's strawweight contender, Tecia Torres. Tecia, thank you for the time today.
You're welcome.
We will take the first set of questions from Gabriel Gonzalez with Capeside Press.
Hey Tisha, how are you?
I'm well, thank you.
So can you walk us through it? You get the call, Angela's out, they bring you Sam Hughes. I mean, where were you at? When did you get the call? All of that stuff.
I got it Friday night, and we were actually in our car going through like a Christmas holiday show. We were waiting in line in the traffic, and I look at my phone at my text, and the text from Mick saying, "Hey, Angela's out due to COVID." I literally like teared up. I was so upset because I've known about this fight for like 3 months now, and I was really excited to fight her again. Yeah, it wasn't really that fun of a night after that.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. That does sound like a bummer. When you have a situation like this, just about a week's notice, is it like cramming for a test in terms of trying to come up with a strategy, or is it just more you're going to go out there and do what comes to you?
You know what? Me and Mick went back and forth for 2 days trying to find an opponent. I asked for everyone above me. I asked for Carla, Michelle, Claudia, Jan, all of those girls, and none of them were either they were not available or they said no. I don't know what the whole spiel was. But he said really the only way I would get a fight is if he signed somebody new. And I said, go ahead and do it. I want to fight. I haven't fought since June. I want to get in some ring time and, go out there and get a win.
Gotcha. On your last one, you got the victory, you snapped that skid. How did that affect the mood going into this latest training camp? Obviously before the change, but I'd imagine it took some of that pressure off your shoulders because everyone was talking about, it hadn't gone your way the last few times.
Yeah, I had some tough fights. I'm the only one in my division who's fought all five of the UFC 115-pound champions, and the fights that I've had with them have all gone to decision. Nothing's happened to me in the fight. It was basically they, outpointed me or took me down. I wasn't able to do what I needed to do. Nothing happened. And you see fights with them fighting these other girls and they're TKOing them, destroying them, blooding them up. So I just think it was a matter of fact of my mindset and where I've been with my mental health. But definitely going in there in my last fight and getting a win gave me some extra motivation to, want to be at the top again and want to go for that title belt one day.
Finally, what are your thoughts on Sam as an opponent and how you match up with her?
I think she looks like a tough girl. I mean, if I'm being in all honesty, I've never heard of her before Friday, so I had to Google her. I was like, wait a second, let me Google her. But she looks up for the challenge. I mean, I'm sure she is coming in here trying to do her best this coming Saturday and shock the world. But unfortunately, she's not going to be able to do that. But I am super grateful to her taking on the fight, and it's a big fight. It's a big opportunity to come in and for her first UFC fight me. So I'm just thankful to have a fight, and I think it's going to be a good one.
Hey, thanks for the time, Tisha.
You're welcome.
We will take our next set of questions from Jim Varsalone with the Miami Herald.
Thank you. Tecia, a victory, where does that take you to the next chapter or the next fight? What does a victory mean for you on this event?
I think a victory is going to honestly keep me exactly where I'm at, but I would definitely like a top 10 opponent. I've been asking for a top 10 opponent my last two fights. I was supposed to fight in March. It fell through because of COVID. Then I got Brianna, who was sort of a newcomer as well, ex-Invicta champion. I went in there and dominated. Now this fight, I was supposed to have Angela, who's ranked, I think, one or two below me. So I really just like to have a top 10 opponent going into my next fight after this one.
In South Florida, you from Fort Lauderdale, but where are you residing now and where are you training now?
I've been in Colorado Springs for the past 3.5 years, and I train out of Pound for Pound Fitness. That's my main gym there in the Springs.
We'll be with you in your corner for this one.
My coach from there, Justin Houghton, my other coach, wrestling coach, Jason Kutz, and then a new coach who I've been working with for the past 8 months or so. Last fight, I think it was just too quick to bring him into my fight, but this fight I'm bringing him. His name's Clement.
Has there been any different training for you as far as the last 2 or 3 fights when you went decisions, you were losing, then you got the victory? Have you seen your training change at all? Different things you've been doing, or has it been pretty much business as usual?
I think it really just has to do with my mindset and getting my whole mental health back in gear and that self-confidence. It's still growing, you know, I'm working on it every day. I really am a great fighter. It's me and my thoughts about my capabilities. And I think that's what changes the game as well. And over the last two fight camps, I've been able to become a better athlete and a more coachable athlete. And I think that's what helped my game as well.
And lastly, for me, because you mentioned the mental part of the game, have you had any special mental coaching? Someone more geared toward that, the self-confidence level?
No, I've just been seeing my counselor that I see that, you know, provides me meds and stuff like that. And just honestly, me and self-talk. And then Raquel helps me a lot as well and trying to help me on my down days. So it just changes from day to day, but it's really just self-perseverance and pushing forward.
All the best and thank you.
Thank you.
We will take the next set of questions from Pablo Santamaria with Noti MMA Ecuador.
Hi, Tecia, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, when you find out that Angela was out, maybe you thought wait to her, or that was not an option?
If I was to wait for Angela, it probably would have been February or March. So that would be 8 or 9 months without fighting. And I didn't want to wait. Like I said, I asked for the four other girls who are ranked in the top 10, like top 7. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to get them. So I just didn't want to wait. I wanted to get in there and get some ring time.
I get it. Do you think because Sam is making her UFC debut, it will be dangerous because she might want to give a very good first impression to the people or the boss or everyone in the UFC?
Of course, anything can happen in a fight, and I'm definitely not overlooking Sam. I think everyone presents a potential threat to a fight, whether it's dangerous or not. I mean, to me, I don't care. You know, for me, I believe if I want to be the best, I have to be able to beat anybody who they put in front of me. So whether that's a newcomer or the #1 contender.
Sure. Do you have a prediction for the fight?
I'm gonna have my hand raised.
And if you get the W, who you want to call out?
Not necessarily call it anybody. I just want someone ranked above me, preferably, you know, definitely in the top 10 since I'm in the top 10. But like I said, any one of those girls I mentioned, Claudia, Carla, Michelle, Yan, I'd be very happy to fight any of them.
I get. Would you like to send a message to your Ecuadorian fans, to your Latin American fans?
A todos mis fanáticos de Latinoamérica, de los Estados Unidos, gracias por su apoyo y voy a tener una pelea bien grande ese sábado.
Muchas gracias, Tecia. Good luck on your fight.
Thank you so much.
We will take the next set of questions from Ryan McCarthy with Low Kick MMA.
Hey Tisha, hope all is well. Just wanted to see a couple things here. So, how is it preparing for someone like Sam on such short notice? Going from someone like Angela to Sam, you know, in you know, probably less than a week's notice. So, how is that difficult for you and the team to prepare for someone like that?
No, it wasn't too difficult. I mean, like I said, I'd never heard of her before, so I just went off of a few videos I saw online, and before I said yes. And the big difference would be if she was like a wrestler coming in there, but she's not. So I feel like she's a well-rounded fighter. There's not one particular thing that she likes over, you know, another. And I think that her height she's still taller than me, a little bit taller than Angela, so she'll have a little bit more of a reach advantage. And I'll do the things that I need to do to keep her at bay and keep her at my will. So it wasn't much of a difference. She's not as technical Muay Thai, obviously, or the skill level as Angela in that aspect, but she possesses different things in her game that I think I'll be able to accommodate in my own.
For sure. And then I know you mentioned you'd like a top 10 opponent after this fight, but would you consider running it back with Angela again?
I mean, if it made sense, but at this point, I definitely would like somebody ranked above me. Prior to getting Angela, I was asking for somebody ranked above me, and I kept getting the same answer. They're either injured, don't want to fight me, or have a matchup already. So I would really like someone ahead of me.
For sure. Well, thanks for your time, Tisha. Best of luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tecia. That is all the questions we had for you. We appreciate the time.
Awesome. You guys have a good one.